The primary role of our subconscious mind is to keep us safe. It is constantly on the lookout for things that could go wrong, danger, and pits that we could fall into. The problem is when the subconscious mind works too hard, it keeps us stuck. It creates resistance and it makes taking action almost impossible. Today in the podcast, we talk about how you can tap to clear that resistance of the subconscious mind wanting to keep us stuck in this moment. This is Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 549, originally aired March 8th, 2022. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Today we're going to do some tapping and talk about a way that I like to clear resistance by tuning into possibility. Before we do that, two quick announcements. Number one, if you'd like a free 10-part guide on how you can use tapping to eliminate self-sabotage, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com, click on that big blue button, enter your email address, and over the next 10 days, every single day, I'll send you one little tool that you can try that's going to help you to clear resistance like we are talking about today. And then at the end of 10 days, you can choose one of those tools or two of those tools and use them on the regular so that you consistently take action and are moving forward. Secondly, I want to send a big shout out and thank you to all of the supporters of the Tapping Q&A podcast. These are people who not only support the podcast, but they get access to some amazing bonuses. If you too would like to support the podcast so that you can keep getting this high quality content, as well as receive some great bonuses, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/support. And once again, thank you to our amazing sponsors. The subconscious mind is a really fascinating thing. It's a primitive part of ourselves. It's not as old as our unconscious mind, but it is thousands and thousands of years old. And basically what the subconscious mind is it is a giant cause and effect assessment machine. It's constantly learning cause and effect. If A happens, then what follows? It's B, and then it knows to predict those particular things. And as it makes those assessments, it's constantly looking for possible pitfalls and struggles and things that we could fall into. And that's actually a really good thing. Firstly, it's good that we are constantly learning from our experience. Then we do something enough times, it becomes second nature. We don't have to think about it. And it makes navigating the world so much easier. One, not only is it a great time saver, because if I didn't have these patterns and these lessons inside of my head, every single time I approach something, I would have to figure it out. But because I have these patterns, I have these stories, I have these relationships, I know that when I push a certain button on my phone, it will call my mother. If I push a certain button on my kettle, it will warm up my water so I can make a cup of coffee. It knows that if I eat one thing, I will have a good taste. If I eat another thing, it will be bad or it'll make me sick. So it's constantly learning as we navigate our day. The problem with the subconscious mind, or the struggle and the reality of the subconscious mind, is the subconscious mind is really, really bad at understanding time. It understands this moment, but the future is kind of all lumped together, and the past is kind of all lumped together, and it's really easy for all of those things to get compressed onto this moment. You know, in my conscious mind, as I sit here, I can go, this is what's going on right now. This is what my afternoon holds. This is what my evening holds. And I'm able to make decisions and figure things out. Subconscious mind really struggles with that. And because that is the case, it wants to understand as much as it can. And so therefore, the subconscious mind will choose the predictable over the unpredictable. So much so that the subconscious mind will choose the predictably bad over the unpredictable. Because even with the predictably bad, I'm sure you have these parts in your life where you have a coworker who you don't necessarily enjoy working with, or you have to do a process like getting a new driver's license or filing your taxes that it is not a lot of fun to engage with, and you know what is coming. But even in those situations, the subconscious mind knows, even though it's bad, even though it might be painful, even though it might be a lot of fun, it knows that it can manage it because it knows what is coming. And when we want to change, when we want to act in new ways, when we want to create new things in our lives, well, there's that word new. Well, and the new always includes the unpredictable. Even with a perfect plan, even with everything structured in a way where we can anticipate what is coming, they're still unpredictable. One, because we actually don't have all of the information. We're always working with at least a little incomplete information. And two, almost everything that I'm doing is impacted by other humans, either directly or indirectly. And that means they have free will, and other humans are unpredictable. And so the subconscious mind doesn't want change, not because change is bad, but it is fearful of change because change is unpredictable and it wants to keep us stuck. And so that is one of the reasons why it can be really difficult for us to take action to create something new. Because the subconscious mind is thinking in terms of safety, it's not thinking in terms of transformation. And in many cases, the transformation we're seeking actually makes us safer. I'm trying to transform my business so it's more successful. Well, if my business is more successful, it means I have more income, which means I'm probably safer. If I'm in a circumstance where I'm trying to change my health and work out more regularly, well, that's going to have long-term benefits. But for the subconscious mind, it can't see beyond this moment. And so it's going to keep us stuck in that particular way. And so for me, the way I respond to that is I tap on the possibility of what might happen. And by tapping on the possibility of what might happen, I am not forcing my subconscious mind to believe something else. I'm not going, subconscious mind, you're wrong, I'm going to do something else. Because the subconscious mind, like the rest of us, doesn't take kindly to being told it needs to change what it's believing. And so for me, every single time I engage with my subconscious mind, I'm doing it in a way where I'm trying to negotiate with it so it's easier to move forward. And so if I'm introducing this idea of I'm being open to the possibility that, and that's the magic phrase for me. And there are no magic phrases, but certain phrases are going to resonate with us individually that's going to help us to unpack and move forward in different ways. And so for me, I'm open to the possibility that is a way for me to more easily communicate with and renegotiate what is going on with my subconscious mind. And I'll show you how easy it is to do this. Just tap on the side of a hand, take a nice big deep breath. And what I want you to do is I want you to tune into something that you would like to change, but you have felt stuck and you have been resisting in that effort to create change. And just move from point to point, repeating after me as you tune into that resistance. I recognize the fact that my subconscious mind is trying to keep me safe. I recognize the fact my subconscious mind is trying to keep everything manageable. And in its efforts to do that, my subconscious mind is going to choose the predictable over the unpredictable. My subconscious mind is even willing to choose the predictably bad over the unpredictable. Because even though it is bad, I know what it is. Even though it is bad, it is manageable because it is understandable. At the exact same time, I recognize the fact I would like to have change. I would like to move forward. I would like to see the unpredictable become predictable. I give myself permission to be open to the possibility that change is possible. To be open to the possibility that change is manageable. To be open to the possibility that change will be fruitful. To be open to the possibility that change is sustainable. And this doesn't mean I'm going to act carelessly. It doesn't mean I'm going to act recklessly. It doesn't mean I'm going to act thoughtlessly. But instead, by being open to possibility, I am not stuck in my resistance, and I can make thoughtful choices to create something new. I give myself permission to trust my choices. I give myself permission to trust change. I give myself permission to be open to the possibility that better can happen. Nice big deep breath. And I just want you to think back into that change, that action, that place where resistance is that we started with. And I want you to just feel into it. Does it feel more open and expansive? Does it feel tighter? Regardless of how it feels, pay attention to that and follow it. If it feels more constricted, then there's more underlying root causes around the resistance that you can tap for. If it's feeling open, you can either go take action or you can do a little more tapping on it to make it easier for you to move forward in this particular way. But for me, again, adding, I am open to the possibility that change can happen makes it so much easier. So I'm not fighting with my subconscious mind. I'm gently moving forward with my subconscious mind. I'm getting my subconscious mind on my side, which will make it easier to keep taking action. So that is one of my favorite phrases. I'm open to the possibility that. I give myself permission to connect with the possibility that. Any of those versions of it will make it easier for you to move forward. So give that a try. Let me know how that works for you. If there is someone in your life who you think might appreciate a little tap along like this, please be our ambassador. Pass it along. Don't spam your inbox. But there might be one or two people in your life who could really, really appreciate a little tapping like this. And the beautiful thing is, even if they don't listen to the audio when you send it to them, the simple fact you send them a note saying, I'm thinking of you today, will make a difference in their life, which will make their day a little brighter. And when you make their day a little brighter, you make the world a little brighter, which makes it better for you and me. I know that sounds cheesy, but I really do believe that. And that's one of the reasons why we keep doing the podcast. Last week was actually the 14th anniversary of the podcast starting. If you haven't done so, I'd really encourage you to go check out the archive. If you just go to tappingpodcast.com, you will find 248 other episodes. You'll find over 200 hours of free audio just waiting there for you. Or everywhere you get podcasts, just search for Tapping Q&A Podcast. Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible. The entire archive is there, available absolutely free. Make sure you subscribe or follow the podcast. Turn on the notifications so when new episodes come out, you're notified right away. If you got a question, a comment, a topic you'd like us to cover in the future, please let me know. I can always be reached at support@tappingqa.com. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, is Gene Monterastelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Monterastelli Tapping Q&A. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Monterastelli and Tapping Q&A.